Yeah. So that's the water park over there. That's why I was telling people earlier. I'm telling Shannon earlier, it's a lot of people been in and out of that place all day long. All right, everybody, welcome back to the channel. It's Christmas Day. Merry Christmas, everybody. Hope y'all had a good one. You know, hope everybody enjoyed it. Me and my family, we are away on vacation right now. We're down in Central Florida, down in Orlando. And we're just kind of like walking around, you know, checking the place out. All right, everybody. Me and my mom, we out here chilling in front of the, what do they call this thing? A fire pit? We out here chilling in front of the fire pit. But the reason I'm making this video, I've never caught a Florida bass before. And this is gonna be the best chance that I'm gonna have at catching a Florida bass because I don't come to Florida that often. So it's not gonna be any fishing tonight, but first thing tomorrow morning, I'm gonna try to get up as early as possible and try to see if we can get on some bass here in Florida. Not real sure. I'm gonna ask a couple more questions. Make sure everything's good with fishing in this area. But everyone I've asked so far said it's cool, it's good. So we're gonna get out there and try to catch them. All right, everybody. I know you're probably wondering, Jett, where's the fishing footage? Well, unfortunately, you know, sometimes you go on vacation and you plan something, but it don't always plan to go like that. Like I said, my plan was to fit some fishing into the regular schedule with my family. But unfortunately, when you're with family and you're doing other things and you're somewhere where you've never been before. That was my first time ever going to Orlando. Things don't go as planned. So fishing didn't happen. But you know, here it is 48 hours later, literally like 48 hours later. And I don't have any fishing footage. So what I decided to do is talk to you all about 3 of my more successful lures for 2023. And they're in no particular order, but I'm just gonna briefly show you, you know, give you like one way that I fish each one of them. The first one that's been very successful, and it's been very successful for me to the latter part of this year, as you know, the fall has came in and slowly as winter has crept in, and that's a swim bait. Right now, one of my more successful swim baits is the Okashira jig head with a small little 3 to 4 inch swim bait on it. I have some success with the one that got the blade on it, but I've been finding out lately that the one without the blade is catching just as many fish. And, you know, right here, I'm gonna show you a little bit of my little tackle that I have set up for my swim baits. And as you probably can see right here, I got some real swim baits, some that are a little bit longer, 4 to 5 inches, and I have some 3 inches that's right here. Like I said, I have some little small swim baits that's made with the, you know, the hook the regular, I guess you call those little, I don't know, in weight sinker on the hook. But those and right here was where I keep my little jig heads. Some other swim baits that I use, and I've had a lot of success this year. So I'm gonna give you one way that I've, had a lot of luck on fishing with my swim baits. One of the best ways that I've been able to catch them is by throwing out anywhere from 6 to 30 or 40 feet of water. And as the lure sinks, just kind of like winding the slack up and just raising the rod tip up. And as the rod tip get around 11 to 12 o'clock, just kind of stopping and just letting that swim bait pendulum down, then wind up the slack. And as I wind the slack, I lower my rod tip, and then I just raise the rod tip up. I've been playing with it lately, man. I've been getting some really, really good hits at, just doing that. So that's one way that I'm able to catch them with the swim bait. So let's get on to the second bait. The second lure setup that I've been using is drop shot. Oh man, back in the summertime, oh man, the drop shot was working. I mean, it continues to work to the day, but in the summertime, I was absolutely catching them on the drop shot. And I know people say that, some of those techniques like drop shots, they don't typically catch big fish. And although the bigger ones that I hooked this year, I lost every last one of them because I was on that bad little streak of losing fish. I caught a lot of really, really good quality bass off a drop shot. I like to use just the straight tail zoom worms, different ones, small trick worms. As you can see right here, I have these right here. They're more like a 5-inch, 6-inch worm. These right here are more your regular, I call them mini signature trick worms, zoom, just regular zoom worms. They're many colors, but I've caught some good fish off of this one right here. It's more of a maybe like a green pumpkin with a little bit of chartreuse at the tip of it. Right here, I've had good luck on the watermelon color. Just flat out traditional watermelon color. And, the green pumpkin. And, you can use dye to kind of like change up the colors a little bit on it. But I've had a lot of success using them. And don't forget your black. You'll be surprised. Well, this is like it's like a black, but it's got like a what do you call that color? It's like a black with a June bug color to it a little bit. But your darker worms, like your June bugs or your black, they work really, really well. But that's it. I don't have the hooks or anything. One thing about your drop shot weight, try to go as small as you can. Just try to go as small as you can. That's what I had the most success off of. And that's that. The way that I like to fish my drop shot is I like to throw it out. I'm a caster. I'm not more of a dead sticking drop shot fisherman. I'm more of a caster. I like to fish structure with my drop shot. And so a lot of times I'm Texas rigging my drop shot. I do throw towards other areas or whatever, but I do like to fish it around structure. I'm kind of like the type of person to throw it out there, and once it hit the bottom, I don't really shake it. Like you get some people that do the tip of the rod a little bit. I don't really like doing that too much. I kind of like let it just sit there for a second, and then I raise it up, try to move it, just slide it across the weight across the bottom of a lake, couple of feet, and I just stop. Because I believe like the waves of the water underneath I think that gives it its own action, and what more natural than the way that the water moves underneath. So I just kind of like cast it out and kind of dead stick it from a distance, and it been working a lot for me. So that's one way that I fish. I have other ways of fishing it, but that's just one successful way that I like to fish it. Last but not least, the other lure category that I absolutely had a lot of good luck with this year. I kind of got out of the mode of it, fishing it the last maybe 4 or 5 months of the year. I haven't been throwing it that much, but it wasn't from a lack of not catching fish. And that's your bladed jig, your chatterbait. So I show you all just a little bit of my little setup with my chatterbaits. And if you look right here, I got the more traditional basic chatterbait. And sometimes I like to take fingernail polish and change up the color that's on the blades. Just paint them, take away the flash sometime. Another one that I like to that I had a lot of success on is the Z-Man Stealth Blade. Man, this thing right here did some work, especially like the early summer part. But they, the two weights that I like to throw them on is like 3/8 and 1/2 ounce. They work really well. More of my good colors that I like to catch them on is more like a bluegill, some form of a shad pattern, but more of a bluegill color, and something like a traditional green pumpkin style. These right here are thunder crickets. A little bit more on the pricier side, but they work pretty well. But a bladed jig, and all of them catch fish or whatever. So, and I happened this year to catch my largest one on the bladed jig. It was actually on the color that was like a white color, not a color that I typically fish with a lot, but I was able to catch one. It wasn't on the color anything like a sexy shad or nothing like that. It was more like a, I don't know, like a floret. I wish I had it. I think I lost it at one point, but yeah, more of a shady like pattern or whatever. But real good lures and stuff to fish with. It depends on whether I'm fishing with a 1/2 ounce or a 3/8 ounce. If I'm throwing a 3/8 ounce, I'm typically throwing it more shallower areas. When I'm winding in, sometimes I use like I may crank it 6 or 7 times, and I may stop and kind of let it fall and then crank it back again. I get a lot of good hits on it fishing it that way. Give you another point, if I'm fishing with it with a 1/2 ounce, I typically try to throw it in deeper water. Yeah, it works in shallow water the same, but I typically throw the 1/2 ounce in a little bit more deeper water, maybe that 15 to 20 feet range. And I kind of like to let it hit the bottom. And as I hit the bottom, I try to keep it as close as I can to the bottom. And every now and then I stop and let it drop back down, or I wind it, and I'll pop it, pop the tip or whatever. And man, I'm telling you, they would absolutely crush it. That completes the list of 3 of the more successful lures that I've been able to catch them with in 2023. They're not the only ones or whatever, but they're 3 of my more successful lures that I fished with this year. I do it, how would I say this? It's something that I take very seriously. You know what I'm saying? I appreciate y'all, taking, minutes of your day, your busy schedules. Everybody know about life. You know what I'm saying? We have to work. We have to take care of the family. I'm just appreciative that you all think so much of my channel to, just to free up 10, 15 minutes of your busy day just to look at what I'm up to on my channel, and I really, really do appreciate it. And in 2024, we're gonna keep this thing rolling. We're gonna try to keep it rolling. And thank you. Without y'all, I don't know if I would still have the motivation to still do this. You know what I'm saying? So I really do appreciate it. So with that being said, everyone, have a great New Year's.